Well, hello there. Here we are, back
Yes,
again for
here we
another
are.
week of In My Experience. I am your host, Sonya Lee, and I am
And
here with my co-host.
I'm Piperlyne.
Hi, Piperlyne.
Hello.
It's been 2 weeks. We don't even know how to start this now.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it feels like we're stumbling and starting all over again. Well, if you
It,
noticed we were gone, and we hope you did, we hope that you actually even missed us.
right.
It's been a time. It's been a time. Sonia, what have you been up to these past couple of weeks?
Trying not to kill my chihuahua. No, I'm kidding. There may be a barking dog in the background of this recording. We are doing this via Zoom today because it just didn't work, and we were determined to do it even if we had to do it, you know, over the airwaves instead of in person.
Right.
Gosh, I have been just working, real estate's been busy and clients and all kinds of stuff, but it's been a rough couple of weeks though, trying to just keep, just to keep on keeping on. I don't know. How's it been for you?
Yeah, it's been intense. Well, for me, I mean, I was unavailable for a couple of weeks simply because I had a move planned. Where we were living, we were renting, and the owner decided to sell and sold it. And the market as it is very challenging for us to find a place to move to.
Yeah.
And then I had my own personal Mercury retrograde experience. So I'm going to say, as a recommendation in the future, do not plan a move over, I think it was a full moon, Mercury retrograde, US election. Don't do a move during that period of time, because I did, and everything went wrong. Literally, I mean, we are moved, so that
survived. You did it.
But it was unbelievably painful and difficult and challenging and delayed. And so, yeah.
And don't try this at home, folks. We are professional. She is a professional.
Oh, Lord. And my sweet child didn't get the full concept of moving. And so then we had another 5 days after the move where I don't even know how many times I said, "You're okay. It's different, but you're okay. You're safe. It's different, but it was just, that was the old house. This is the new house." And he would say, "I'm ready to go home." And so it was long. Everything about it was long. Every day was long. Every situation was long. And every night was unbelievably short. So, but here we are on the other side. The new place, absolutely love it. It's a townhome, so it's the first time we've really had people, we're sharing a wall. But the energy feels good. Even my brother, my completely non-woo-woo of any type of anything brother, as he was helping move us in, and he was amazing. He came here from Tennessee.
He really did step up to the plate. Good on you. Josh, good job.
But he was helping us move, and he said, "It feels good." He's like, "I don't even know what that means, but
that's okay.
I will accept that. Thank you."
Right? Sometimes feelings,
you just feel them.
You just feel them. Yep.
But it felt strong enough
thing, though, because I want to just talk about that for just a second before you move on, because I think that's a really valid point. Because a lot of times people don't understand the woo from like a rational, logical, scientific standpoint. but you can usually get someone to agree on a feeling. Like, have you ever walked into a room and you could just like feel the tension?
Right.
And then like, yes, right? So it doesn't have, it doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to even be understood past anything more than I felt something.
Right.
And that's a great place to start.
Right. Absolutely.
You feel now you're opening up to another sense. It's not just what you hear. It's not just what you see. What do and it's not like what you feel, like what you can touch, like a tactile.
Right.
It's more like the whiskers on a cat's face.
That little breeze, that little, yeah, and it's just acknowledging it. And, so I thought that was lovely. So it's a lovely, lovely place. And my son has settled into his room, and we have an entire garage of unpacked boxes. I mean, between you and me, I still don't know where my socks or my bras are.
Oh.
So I'm going to go.
I hate that.
So, and I've got 2 pairs of shoes because I don't know where my shoes are yet.
Oh, right. I hope one of them is closed-toed. Okay.
Yes. So anyway, moving is a process, but this place is 1 bedroom less and about less than 400 square feet smaller. And that makes me happy. It also doesn't have a pool in the backyard, thank God, because I hate taking care of a pool. But this is my process. I have accepted this process. My desire is to live simpler and to live smaller. I truly, truly want to do that. And so I'm in a situation, even though we got rid of so much stuff before we moved, we're getting rid of more.
Yes.
But this feels right to my heart, right? Marie Kondo my entire life. I love the Chihuahua and the shh.
We just didn't need the, there were some F-bombs too. That's what I had to sort of.
Oh. Well, those are fun. I didn't hear those. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, and he doesn't want to be heard on here. So mind the straits, right? They're in the straits, Egon. In any event, yes. Isn't it? I am on that. Less is so much better. It's not even less is more. Less is better.
So much better.
And I'm having a hard time convincing people in my household. They just laugh at me like, yeah, right. I'm like, you can do what you want to do with your junk. I'm getting rid of mine. I was talking to somebody the other day and I said, it's really hard to up and just move or up and just go somewhere or up and just do something when it takes you a week to pack.
Right.
So, it's a definite, inhibition to being as fluid and as mobile as I'd like to be.
Oh, yeah. I mean, oh, my goodness. Of course, I was a single young person, but I could pack my everything in a car.
Mm-hmm.
And then, for furniture, I'd just take care of it when I got there. And I was happy with that. Now I'm looking at buying some furniture. Like I bought my son a new bed. I bought myself a new bed. But I'm getting nice pieces that I want and not just stuff to fill the house.
Right. Things that will last.
That I want. Yeah. That I really want.
That you want, that's good quality. That's not, I just have to have something. No. I'm going to, in the few pieces I'm going to make that investment. It's going to be something that is, like, what is that? Maria Kondo it, right? Like,
yeah.
I just love it.
Yeah. Does it? Yeah. I read somewhere that, we need to start Maria Kondoing everything. And I completely agree. I mean, I made another big change in the person that I do, my partner, in working in the nonprofit that has been going on for 9 years, we have decided to call it quits.
Yeah.
And so we're closing the doors at the end of this year. And it's the right choice. We both absolutely know it. It's the right choice, but it's sad. I mean, sitting here talking about it, I have tears, and I'm sure I will shed tears in this process. And so it's hard and it hurts, but God, it's the right choice for both of us.
Yeah, I was going to ask you how you were doing with that. I know we talked about it last week, and as it's moving through that process, like you say, that's and it's not even, like I get you're saying it's not like a regret, like, oh, am I making the right choice because I'm feeling emotion? It's just part of that releasing process.
Right. And I think that's important that people be aware of that you can make the absolutely perfect right choice for you and still be sad or even heartbroken about it. I mean, I have done it in relationships.
I was just going to say relationships for sure.
Right? I have been in love and walked away from a relationship because it wasn't the right thing. The relationship wasn't healthy. It wasn't good. Or
it's just come to its natural
end. Or it's just come to an end, right?
Yeah. I think that's the thing too. Everybody's always got to think that there's got to be a reason. Sometimes it's just we're complete.
And that's basically the thing with the nonprofit, is that Christina and I we're just done. We're just done. And ready to focus our energies on other things.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure at the time, you started this because there wasn't something there for you.
Right.
And now
it's different.
And now, yeah, right.
Yeah.
And there are more things now. And I think that that's another thing that we were talking earlier about, mentors and teachers and gurus and things like that. And, and, it's the same thing, right? Over, you grow, you evolve, the student becomes the teacher.
Right.
The teacher, becomes a student, hopefully, or otherwise they get way up high on a pedestal and then they get, knocked off or come crashing down or burn up in flames.
Jump off.
Right. But I think that's like, it's part of the natural cycle, right? It's so Scorpio. Rebirth.
Speaking of Scorpio full moon or new moon.
New moon, right? Scorpio new moon, right? But I think that there's a lot of that is, in this closing chapter, as we finish 2000 to 2020, this first decade, what do they call it? Score. And, right, that's 20 years of score.
I don't know. I'll take your word for it. I'm not sure.
I will Google that, but I think
4 score and 20 years ago.
Well, no, then that can't be right.
Right, because that would be 5 score.
That would be 5 score. In any event,
we could call it the first fifth of the century.
There we go. There we go. I like that. So 1/5 of this, 22nd, 21st century. I think I'm having my own personal Mercury thing right now.
If you know me or I talk about my own personal Mercury retrograde all the time. And so I apologize if it's rubbing off on you, my darling.
Wow, I don't know. I'm making no sense here. What I'm trying to say, though, is I feel like 2020 is a closing chapter. It's like, okay, we all waited for the year 2000, right? We partied like it was 1999. And then we waited for the year
Prince.
I love Prince. The year 2000. And then, okay, we've had our first 20 years, which essentially would be a generation.
Right, that's true.
How's it working for us?
Yeah, not so good.
It was 407 years ago, so a score is 20 years.
All right, perfect.
Alrighty.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you. I was beginning to worry I was getting a little old timers there or something.
No, no.
Anyhow, but yeah, okay, what's the score in this score? I'm sorry, that was terrible.
You had to work hard for it too.
After work, I had to all the way around the block to make that one come out. I got to get better at writing these jokes. This is not easy work, people. You try it, okay?
Oh my goodness. See, yes, we are not perfect, not in any way, shape, or form, not even close.
No, nope. And there will be no edits. This is what you get.
I'm not,
listen, I do edit some things, but this I won't edit.
No.
It's funny, and if nothing else, we want to be entertaining.
Yes.
But I look back on where I was in 2000 and what I went through in the last 20 years and how I've learned and grown, and the mentors and the teachers and the gurus and all of that. And I find myself in this really interesting space. And then, as we were talking earlier, as I'm looking around, I'm seeing people in the spaces that they're in, and it's a curiosity. It's a curiosity to me. Like riding a roller coaster, though, I guess. Sometimes we're going to be on the up, and then sometimes we're going to be on the down. A lot of people are on the down right now.
Yeah.
They're on the down low. They're just on the down. Sorry.
Sonya's over there on the DL. So
I'm on the DL for her. But it's a curiosity to me, because I looking back on all of that and all of that experience and how it's moved me to a forward space. And the curious thing for me is, there's progression and there's regression. And, you and I have talked about that. There's a lot of regressing right now. Yes, I know there's a Mars and Aries retrograde thing, and that might be part of it, but we've gone direct now. And now it seems to me like we've taken.
Did it just go direct?
Like the 14th,
yeah.
2 days
Okay.
ago. So, and obviously we're still going to be in the shadow until I think January 21st.
Right.
So I understand that it's going to take a while. However, the regression piece of it, I don't know. It seems like I'm trying to figure out how to say what I'm seeing and observing without it sounding all judgy. But it's like for some, it's like I'm gonna double down, right? On that, it's 3D.
Okay.
There, I feel good with that. Ooh, it's 3D. That's what it is. Where I feel like, what I'm seeing it's not as much of a regression as it's still just third dimensional.
Yeah.
Behaviors.
So can you take a second to give a bigger explanation as to what you mean by third dimensional behaviors?
Well, I feel like we are on this vibrational wake-up call. Some people call it an ascension, right? I think we can all agree that there's definitely something that is, shaking us and giving us the old Cher from Moonstruck. Snap out of it!
Yes, I would say that regardless of what your belief system is, that everyone could agree to that.
Right.
Whether they agree with what it is that's being shaken or not is a different thing.
Right, yeah. Right. And so for me, I feel like it's a leveling up. It's an opportunity for us to level up. We're becoming humans 3.0. And, some people don't want the upgrade, they're like, and I don't blame them. It took me a long time to upgrade my computer to Windows 10. I hung on to XP for as long as I could.
You can't make me change.
That's right. I'm not using that stupid program. Everybody hates it. Wow, looky there. So, but here's the thing, right? Just like that travel ID, which they extended, I find that hilarious, by the way. You know, 2021, we're going to be in a different space. I mean, let's face it. 2020 hasn't taught us anything. 2021 is going to begin very differently from the way 2020 did, or any year previous to that. Now, some people would say, well, duh, because it's a new year and every year is different. Go bigger. Go bigger with me on this one, because there is just this separating line between living a life with fear or living a life with faith. And I don't mean religion or even spirituality.
Right.
I mean faith. And I think we need to have more faith in ourselves. And that's what I'm seeing in the mentors, the teachers, the heroes, the gurus, those people that are supposed to be, you know, the influencers, the legislators, the, you know, they're, you know, we got to step up. We got to step it up, and we got to step up in whatever it is that we've shared, whatever it is we've preached, whatever it is we've taught. Well, now it's time to, you know, practice what we preach.
I think that I think all of us need to check ourselves. Check yourself.
Yeah, right? Do the checkup from the neck up.
See, I'm thinking, well, there's this, in times, just talking about humanity, in times of upheaval, we want to cling to things that we know and things that are safe.
Yeah.
And that is completely a human and completely understandable human desire to want to do that. So there are many who are stepping into the challenges of what 2020 has been, and there are many who are rooting themselves even deeper and refusing to step in to any type of change because it challenges what they've believed, what they've thought, what they've taught, what they've said. And but we can't control anyone else doing that, right? So people are going to do what they're going to do. But it's our job that if there is someone who we have listened to or respected or honored or who has taught us, and they start saying things that don't resonate with us, it is our job to question that. And it's not about belittling, anyone. It's simply paying attention to who we're listening to and where we're choosing to put our focus.
As well as listening to what is coming out of our own mouths.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I, for one, I know I say a lot of smart things. That doesn't mean I always live them.
Right. Well, you know, you're a wordsmith. And
sometimes I say stupid things and sometimes I live those. But
yeah.
It is absolutely, it's paying attention. Just because we used to listen to someone in the past doesn't mean it's the right thing to listen to them now or listen to them about the same things.
Yeah, I agree. And I think we need to recognize as well, if part of what this is all about is about us having faith in ourselves and our own abilities and our own autonomy and our own sovereignty and our own power, then we, and you know, I mean, hey, you know, we've been put in the great time out of 2020. I think it's so that we can discover who and what we are and listen to ourselves instead of somebody else.
Right.
So there's that.
Right.
You know, but the other thing too is when this, you know, I've also been sort of surprised by the whole, well, this is right, but that is wrongness of things, the rightness and the wrongness. And again, you know, I think there's more to it than that.
Yes.
And I know that there are a lot of people, no, because in this issue, it's only one way and and anything else is wrong. Well, there's the process of discovery and understanding and awareness and growth, and then new ways of showing up and behaving. There's no room for that in a rightness and a wrongness.
Well, I think
black and a white.
Right. I think that, and I don't know if we've ever talked about it on this show. I'm sure that we will sometime, about how we live in a trauma-based reality.
Oh.
And I don't know if this is an actual human condition of needing to discount, needing someone else to be wrong so you feel right, so you're right, so you feel safe. So I don't know if this is actual human condition or this is just trauma-based through centuries of living on this planet. Either way, we do it when we don't, it goes back, when we don't feel safe, then they have to be wrong because then I feel safer.
Right.
Because then I'm right.
Yeah, I know. It's the truth. It's an easy truth.
It is an easy truth.
It may not be the truth, but it's an easy truth.
It's an easy truth. It's, yeah. It doesn't protect you from anything at all. You may feel safe for a short period of time, but it doesn't protect you from anything.
And I think those are the moments too, where when that comes that easy, that's sort of an invitation for me to kind of stop and go, wait a minute, that was a little too easy.
Yeah.
Did I bypass or skip over a step there? Because I don't want to have to be circling back because I forgot something. It's just not.
One time through this is enough.
Right. Well, and like, I'm sure you can appreciate this having moved as I did recently.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes you put a box somewhere and then you move and it's, you know, I only want to have to move this box once. I don't like moving the box here just so that I can then move it there later. That's one of my little frets.
I feel you. I have been doing that, but I feel you.
Right. And so that's sort of kind of where that's at. Okay, well, you know, that seems, but if it seems too easy, then I'm going to go, did I miss something here? Because I'm not saying that everything's hard. I'm just saying.
Well, the thing is, easy could be another word that could be used for that is unconscious.
Yeah.
Or you know, not conscious choice, because what you're talking about right there is being consciously aware of what is going on. And so if you just go with what is natural and there's nothing, or what you've always done, put it that way.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's not necessarily wrong that you're doing that. There's no judgment on that whatsoever. It's just a conscious awareness of, okay, so I'm doing this. Is this what I want to continue to do?
Yeah.
Is there, you know, is this bringing me what I desire? Is this taking me where I want to go? And that, good Lord, that could be anything.
That's what I was going to say. It could be, you could use that in every situation.
Everything.
Do I want to continue to be a victim? Do I want to continue to be a bully? Do I want to continue to be a pacifist? Do I want to continue to be, you know what I mean? Like every single situation, you can plug that in and look at it because, and the other thing I find so interesting, one of the astrologers that I was listening to over the weekend kept going back to these dates and they're like, who were you in 1982? Because that's the last time that we were in this situation that we were in over the weekend with this energy. And it's like, and most people will find that you're not that same person. And then they even specifically said, right? So say, for example, there was somebody, I think the host or whatever, she said, so like for you example, you would have been 14 in 1982. Would you say today that you are absolutely not the person that you were at 14? And she said, oh my goodness, of course. I got children now that, and da da da. And it's like, yeah. So, there's also that space of, yes, this is what we've always done, or this is the way it's always been, or whatever. But when you pull that out over a span of time, well, are you still always doing what you always did when you were 14?
Right.
And then when we look at the wheel on astrology, 0 to 29 degrees, and that's our age, right? And like we talked about before, that Aries thing is, how old is your Aries? Because that's our inner child right now. And as I've said before, mine is 4 and out in the public. So, I got a little more pressure on me. And you said yours was
20.
20. Okay. So my Mars.
I'm an adult, but not really. I'm an adult, but not all the way. There we go.
Right. So there's, some differences there, but at the same time, we can look at how we use that and how we've grown and matured and changed and allowed for ourselves to go, okay, kind of acting like a 4-year-old right now, or why are you acting like you're 20? Act your age, right? So
that's actually what I say to myself.
Oh, love it.
I don't have anyone else say that to me. I say that to myself.
Oh, that is really interesting. Yeah, so do the checkup from the neck up and see with everything that's happening and everything that's happened in this last 20 years. Let's just use, the first 20 of the 2000s. Are you still showing up the same way that you did? Are you showing up differently? I know I have been looking at this and asking myself the questions. And then as I look at people around me, I'm not trying to judge anybody. It's just a curiosity to me. I get it. I do things a little differently than most. And I kind of felt like we were all going through the same experience here this year.
Right.
So that's sort of what started us, having our conversation before we got on the podcast this morning, because I'm really concerned for a lot of the humans because they're suffering.
Yeah.
And I would say needlessly. Although there probably is a need and there's always a purpose. And yet, that's where my Pisces is swimming right now. Why are you suffer? You don't need to suffer.
After a meditation one time, I got clear on something regarding, it was actually had to do with healing and clearing karma.
Oh.
And so there's 3 levels to it. The first level is we do it over and 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 over again and beat our head against the wall till, there's change. And, that could explain the experience of humanity if you believe in continuous lives and reincarnation.
Right.
That's the first level. The second level is acknowledging or becoming aware of the fact that this is a karmic issue, right? Whatever this is a karmic issue. And then taking steps to heal it. Or this is an issue that needs to be healed. And then doing whatever it is that you decide you need to do to heal it. To work with someone, and so there's that group of people who do that are much, much smaller in humanity, but they're there. And then at that point, then we move on to the level, which is when you realize you're just done. and you don't need it anymore. You don't have to participate anymore. And it's not just, it's because you've taken in the full experience and you don't have to run that game anymore.
Yeah.
And that is the Buddha level.
It's a great space to be.
And
Felt it.
What?
It's a great space to be. I felt it once.
One time. One time. Yeah.
It's like a little taste, you know, you get at the, you know, when you're in the store and they're like, would you like to sample this? And I'm like, oh yes, thank you. I've been meaning to try that.
You know, just like everything else, I don't think, at least, you know, it's touch and go. You touch it and then you back away from it, and then you touch it again and you stay longer, and then you play some more and then you touch it again and you stay longer. You know, I don't think it's just a one. At least for many of us, it's not just.
It's true.
I have awakened. I am there. It is done. You go to sleep one night and you wake up and it's the same. And everything changes. For the majority of us, it's not that way.
Well, the expression is to grab the brass ring, not to hang on to it.
There you go.
Well, with that, I think we need to carry this over into next week, because I feel like there's so much more we could talk about.
Right.
With this. So, you know, maybe this will be our first part 1, part 2.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that sounds good.
All right. Well, because we are at an hour and we do want to try to keep these as symmetrical as possible. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this little walk in our brains and our thought processes and the things that make us go, to quote
Interesting.
my favorite nighttime, late night talk show hosts.
Who did that?
Arsenio Hall.
Oh, okay. Because I
love
remember
that.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a while
I love it when he goes, things that make you go,
ago.
love that shit.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, you know, check us out on our Podbean podcast, In My Experience. We're also on YouTube. What is that one? Right?
Oh, well, it hasn't been updated because of my internet.
Oh, well, it's In My Experience podcast. We'll put that in the notes.
Yes. Well, I have it. I have it on. It's on the website.
Yeah. Okay. So the website is. Excuse me.
It is inmyexperience.life. And YouTube is In My Experience podcast. I just found it.
Fantastic. That is our YouTube channel. You can email us with your comments, questions, or, you know, love donations, which is basically a note saying, we love you. In My Experience 1111@gmail.com. So until next week, which will be Thanksgiving week, by the way, here in America.
If you're in the US, then everyone will be experiencing, or a lot of people that I've talked to will be experiencing a different type of Thanksgiving because 2020. So
I actually heard someone said buy a chicken instead of a turkey.
no,
what? They make 10-pound turkeys.
no,
Don't be a chicken. Get a turkey.
No, get a turkey.
Get a turkey.
That's insanity.
Okay, and for all you vegans out there, we're really sorry. I don't like to harm the turkeys either. I don't know what else to say to you.
But there we are.
Thanksgiving.
Please don't hate us.
Please don't hate us.
And we should end with that. Please don't hate us. Oh my goodness. And Piperlyne, thank you so much. Thank you for waiting for us. Thank you for listening to us, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.